Okay, meatloaf. So simple. It's on the back of Lipton's soup mix. But I change it to the way, let me double check, yeah, the volume's on. I do it this way. So let's make it our meatloaf way. Ooh, you know what I forgot, everybody? I forgot the onion. I already had that chopped up, so let's grab that right out of the refrigerator right away. So I'm going with 93.7 ground chuck, okay? I'm doubling this because I'm taking some on the road, so my version to my wife's and son's version. So it calls for 2 pounds of ground beef. So right here is 2.25. So get that in here. But before we go any farther, just to let you know, this is messy. So, word of advice, take off that wedding ring. And this I had on because this is my special wedding ring I wear for something we went to a wedding. So take off your jewelry because you're going to get messy. Really, really messy. So what I like to do is I need 4 pounds. So I do half meat and half Johnsonville Italian sausage. Now you can get any other type if you want, but I like the Johnsonville, so it's half and half. So it's a total of 4 pounds for 2 loaves. So what I like to do is season the meat up right away. So I like to put in and then mix it up a little bit. I like to put in the SBGO, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. Now you can do this yourself or not. So what I am doing is I'm adding that in there and slowly seasoning the meat up. Oh, I should turn off that phone. That would be nice, right? And getting this kind of mixed up. I do the meat first. This is my order of how I make it. So now I got that lightly seasoned. And then what I'm going to do, it doesn't call for onion, but we love onion. So I'm going to put in 1 chopped sweet onion. Get that in there. Now, some people put mushrooms in there, and you can do that. But now I'm going to mix the onion in. I just think the onion brings out the flavor. You know. So now we got that in there. Now, it calls for 1 envelope of the beefy onion soup. This is right there. So we'll take our 2, we'll open it up. Let's cut this open. And I like to mix this in with the beef, this 1 package right now. I know what you're saying, it's beefy onion, but I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, let's get that all mixed up. Because you want to mix this up. That's what makes a great meatloaf. If you gotta work the meatloaf. And if the meat's too cold and that type of stuff, bring it out a little earlier. Okay, so we're working that in. You can hear those onions just bounce around because there's a lot more onion in there than it is. So now I like to add the pork sausage. And you are going to get messy with this. The pork sausage just takes this to a new level. With the 93.7 and the pork sausage being so lean, you don't get so much grease when you make this. But it can get very greasy. So let's mix this up. And now I'm going to work in this pork sausage. And just keep on kneading it, lift it up, push it, use your fingers, spread everything around. Cooking isn't always so clean. You're going to get dirty sometimes. And you're going to get definitely dirty with this. Meatloaf is a dirty hands-on type of comfort food. But once you have it, it's delicious. Now I see that working its way right into the meat really good. And you keep on just working it. And it's getting tacky and sticky. But we got a lot more to go. Mine's going to be with horseradish. My son and wife love it with ketchup on top. Now you could put bacon. I've seen people wrap bacon in the pans. You can add mushrooms, gravy. There's so many different ways. But this is just the old-fashioned. Well, I stopped it for a second because my wife was calling. I forgot to shut off my phone, and she's getting off of work because this is going to be our dinner tonight. It's getting late. It's 6:15. Meatloaf takes about an hour at 350. Oh, look at what I forgot. I forgot to turn on the oven. But we're going to get this all up like this, and I'm going to go preheat that oven at 350. I thought I already did it, but look at that. You see, now the pork sausage is worked into the meat pretty good. And I make a little divot in here. And your hands are going to be sticky and greasy. And we're going to put this off to the side so we can get this all thrown away. We're going to wash our hands and get the oven preheated. All right, so I got my hands all washed. Dawn dishwashing detergent, or Dawn dish soap, works so well. Now with this, it's going to be calling for such small print, everybody. 3/4 cup. They say plain crumbled breadcrumbs. No, I either go with garlic and herb, or I go with the Italian. So 3/4 and 3/4, it's 1.5 cups. So I'm going to put in a 1/2 cup of the Italian. And if you spill a little bit extra, you do, like that. Okay? And then I'm going to put the full cup of garlic. Now you could put a scoop of garlic in here too if you want to. Brand new. It's been hard trying to find the garlic one. Yeah, that smells really good. Garlic and herb. So we're going to put a cup. So it's 3/4, so it's 1.5 cups because we're doubling this. So right there. Put those off to the side. Now the next thing we need to put in is 2 eggs, so that's a total of 4. When you're doing your eggs, make sure you get no shells in here. Let's move those breadcrumbs around a little bit like that. Okay. 1 egg. 2 eggs. 3 eggs. 4 eggs. I love to count eggs. 4 eggs. And then what you put in is 3/4 cups of water. So that's 1.5 cups of water. So I'm going to come over here and grab that real quick. There's 1 cup. And a 1/2 cup. 1.5 cups. And then we're going to be putting in a 1/3 cup of ketchup. So that's 2/3 cups of ketchup. I got my ketchup right here. And I didn't realize it was 2/3. So let me grab my 2/3. Now cooking is exact, but not exact. It's up to you. So let's add a little extra ketchup, right? We're going to put that in there. And then we're going to work this until it becomes a beautiful paste. And this is where the fun part comes. Okay, ketchup is done. Now, we still have one more package of the soup mix we got to put in. Let's cut that open. Let's put that in. Now comes the fun part, the gooey. Really work that. It's going to be really wet and gooey, kind of like sandpapery with the breadcrumbs. But what you're doing is you're pulling from the bottom and pushing down because you're mixing this really good. A great meatloaf is all in your mixing. There's some people out there that basically say you can overdo it. I don't think so. Over mixing. You don't want to take a bite of your meatloaf and then get all seasoning and then the rest, nothing. So you just keep on rotating and moving and pushing down. Now it doesn't seem like there's so many onions in there. And you keep on working this. If you think it's too wet or too moist, you could always add, oh, I got ground beef on my shoes because of my fingers. You could always add just a tad more breadcrumbs. Well, this is for my family, and that's right on top of my clean shoe. That's good enough for me. I don't care. You know. All right. Okay. She's starting to get really mixed. There's a little chunk that wasn't. You could start telling that it's fully mixed by just the color of the meat. But keep on working that. And now she's starting to get sticky, tacky. That means we worked in the eggs, we worked in the breadcrumbs, we are working in the ketchup and the water, the Italian pork sausage, the ketchup. Now this is where people, if you want to make it a full flavor, they'll put, you know, the additional like horseradish, but I put it on top like the ketchup. So we're going to get this all done. This is the most work for meatloaf. And I'm telling you, if you mix this right and good, you'll be surprised how delicious. Every single bite is the exact same as the last one. Just downright delicious. Okay, if you're starting to look, it's starting to have that beautiful, tacky mixture. That means we have our meatloaf mixed. I have made it like this once, and it was like a giant hamburger. It took forever to cook. I wouldn't advise that. Okay, get down there. Okay, I think we're ready to pan these up and get ready for the oven. Pans. Wow. I have a nice pan right here I could put the meatloaf in and you can lift it up. This is really nice. I have the bigger pans. I have the glass pans. And I also have the blue pans. So I don't know which one I'm going to use today. I'm going to go with these two. That's what I'm going to do. These two. These look a little deeper. The blue is, sorry about that noise, it's beautiful. Now what I like to do too, is I just put a little bit more SPGO on top, just to give it a little bit more flavor, salt and pepper and garlic. And I'm just going to give it a little up on the wall. It'll help cook it a little faster. And there we go. just a little bit. Now, let's grab this. And you just start plopping it in. Make yourself a nice loaf. Oh, oven's ready. Since we're doubling this, get in there. Push it down. Get the edges. Get everything up to the edge. All right, let's see. We need a little bit more in here. All right, a little bit more. Let's put the rest in this one. Then I think that they're all going to be pretty well matched. I'm going to take Meatloaf along with me on the road. So some people, what you can do with your meatloaf, oh, that looks really good, everybody. Just look how beautiful that is. I'm waiting for my wife to come home to help clean up all the dirty dishes. Let me wash these hands one more time, because that's what happens when you do meatloaf. You're going to be washing your hands a lot, especially if you left something and you didn't grab it right away. So some people will take a pan and put, okay, right there, put bacon. And then they put their meatloaf and then they bring the bacon over like this. Okay, and then you have bacon. Some people put breadcrumbs, but we're going to put this in the oven at 350 for about an hour, but we're going to do 45 minutes. Then we take it out and see how it's doing. And then I put the ketchup on. And then I put on my horseradish. You could put the horseradish on right now. It will get deeper into the meat. I like it really thick. So this one's going to be ketchup. And I'm the only one that does it, so I'm going to do half horseradish, half ketchup. And in the last 15 minutes of cooking, let me grab my cookie sheet, because you don't want to be spilling everywhere in there. Is this going to be big enough? No, we're going to have to go with the large one today. And sorry for the noise. Yeah, that was loud. Sorry about that, everybody. So then we have the meatloaf just like this. There's so many different ways, but this is just the basic meatloaf. And we're going to put this in at 350 now for 1 hour. And we're going to get this going. We're going to test it to see how the middle is doing. That's why we have this just like this. And then we're going to do our toppings and put it in for the last 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on how the middle is coming out. And then we'll have the meatloaf done. All right. They've been in for 45 minutes. They're looking really good. They smell incredible. Let's just test the middle out real quick with a butter knife and see how this is going. Oh, yeah. That's not bad at all. So, Jane's and my son's way is the old gob the ketchup on top. Just pour that on there. Now this is going to be in for about 10-15 minutes, because what you're going to do is you're going to make this like barbecue sauce, lava. So make sure you get the ketchup all the way there. They just love the ketchup. Oh yeah, there we go. We're just getting all this ketchup in here, kind of smoothing it out so it's not so thick in areas, kind of keeping it uniform. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Now that's theirs. Now, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? Well, looks like I'm going to make a mess. We're going to put that right there. That's why we have sponges to clean up. Now, I have prepared horseradish, Silver Springs, and I love my horseradish. So, half of this is going to be for me. Oh yeah, I just finished this one off. I love the flavor of horseradish. Also, it's a great way of cleaning out your sinuses. So, let's spread this horseradish. And you're saying, John, you're only putting horseradish on half. Yeah, I know. We're going to be eating this tonight, and our son is coming back from a bachelor's party. So, he's probably going to be all hungry. So that means half of this meatloaf will be eaten. So to give him for the meal preps, I'm going to make this other half with ketchup. There we go. Nice paste right on top of it. Let's get this half with the ketchup. We'll leave a little line right there. I don't mind it with ketchup. I kind of like it with ketchup too, but I just felt like horseradish tonight. Now we're going to put this in for about 10 to 15 minutes to make this all nice and yummy. So we have half horseradish, half ketchup. I usually like mine all horseradish, but I gotta share, everybody. So there we go. Looking good. And here we go. So let's get these back in. See you in a bit. All right, the meatloaf is out. It's been sitting for a couple of minutes. That horseradish browned up beautiful. And the ketchup looks like barbecue sauce, tacky paste. So the roach about meatloaf is trying to get it so you can cut it. You can cut it out of the pan or that type of thing. Let me see if I'm smarter than the average bear. This is where I stink. You know, it's right there. It's right there. Uh-oh. I think I might have meatloaf. Well, it's so heavy, it's holding down the spatula. Can I do it? Can I do it? Oh yeah, I did it. Airborne. I usually don't do that. I usually drop it and then it spills all over the place. I love it when I get stuff done correctly. Oh yeah, now we get to cut this up and have din din. So, meatloaf, everybody. And right here, green peppers and some yellow peppers and some corn with some butter and SPGO for the side dish. And let's eat. All right, simple, easy meatloaf. Horseradish, ketchup. You could do breadcrumbs, you could add bacon, mushrooms, so many different ways, but this is just a simple little our way in my kitchen. Thanks for stopping on by and checking out this video, my meatloaf. Thanks for, have a great day. Like, subscribe, notify, all that great stuff. We'll see you again in my kitchen at the next recipe.